my channel. I just finished working out. I have a super busy day today, so I thought that it would be best if I vlogged. I feel like I have water all around my mouth. But yeah, I want to take you guys around with me today because I am getting vaccinated later today. And we're going to talk about why I'm making this decision for myself and my spiritual reasons as well as my logistical reasons. But we will get to that later. If you clicked on this video, you know that this video is going to be about how to manifest health for yourself. Now, before we get into it, I want to express the relevance of one's anxiety and faith-based mindset in alignment with how they manifest health in their lives, in their life. Here's the thing. When we experience fear, when we experience anxiety, the fight or flight response that our body has is simply because when we are in fear mode, our brain, our subconscious believes that death or serious injury is a real possibility. That's why when you're about to argue with someone, your heart starts beating fast, your lungs constrict, and all that stuff happens because your body thinks you're about to fight a lion. Your body thinks you're about to have to run really fast. When it comes to understanding how to manifest health, I think that we always have to revisit, how safe do I feel in my daily life? Because if you're anxious more often than not, that means your body is going to be in fight or flight constantly, consistently. And research has shown that that is where a lot of diseases come from. I am a big fan of Joe Dispenza. I am a big fan of Myss, Becoming Supernatural, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, and what's it called? Anatomy of the Spirit. That's what it's called. Those are 3 great books to read to understand how your spiritual journey directly impacts your physical health. I don't believe that we manifest conditions. As far as things like cancer, multiple sclerosis, things like that, I do not believe that we manifest that, but I do believe that we are a part of the process. So I'm going to get to that a little bit later too, but before any of that, I'm going to make a shake because your girl is hungry. Okay, so I don't know when you got to the channel, but if you've been here for a long time, you will know that in 2015, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I went blind in my left eye, and I also was experiencing consistent urinary incontinence. So if you don't know what MS is, I don't either. To be honest, it's a collection of different symptoms, which is why I have my philosophy on health. Being diagnosed with specifically MS, my mother also has MS, and I've seen the illness in her body throughout my life. And specifically MS has created my own very specific viewpoint of health. Because multiple sclerosis is a disease that's identified by so many different symptoms, I immediately had a detachment to the diagnosis. When I was 24, when they told me that I was diagnosed, all of my symptoms were completely different from my mother's symptoms. So I was just like, okay, sure, doc. And that allowed me to stay detached from the diagnosis of having multiple sclerosis, and that detachment was really important for my healing process. When the doctor told me that I have MS, that they found lesions in my brain, that when they did a spinal tap they found more evidence, and then me going blind and all that stuff, when they told me that, I listened to the symptoms and I said, okay, these are my symptoms. And that's the first thing I want to talk about. If you are suffering with any illness, or if you've been newly diagnosed or diagnosed a long time ago and you're starting to feel so defined and identified by your disease, I invite you to reject the identity of a person with a disease and instead identify as a person who's having symptoms. Because when you identify yourself as a person who's having symptoms, it becomes a little bit easier, at least for me, to come back to God and to say, hey, my body is showing me these signs. What could these signs mean? When you become so overwhelmed with I have MS, I have cancer, I have XYZ, all you hear is that buzzword. And your brain already has a story based on what you've seen other people go through, what you've seen on TV, what you've heard doctors say. Your brain has created a story around what it thinks the disease means, even if you haven't experienced those symptoms in your body yet. So mindset-wise, I think it's very beneficial to come back to I am a person experiencing symptoms and rejecting the story of I am a person with this disease. My philosophy is that we do not attract the condition. So please do not think that I'm saying that if you have cancer, if you have multiple sclerosis, if you have Crohn's, if you have anything that you are dealing with, I'm not saying that you attracted it. What I am saying is that based on what we talked about earlier, the autoimmune responses that we have to our external reality makes our bodies function in specific ways. And sometimes that function can lead to disease developing. But that doesn't mean that you attracted that disease. But what happened was, based on your perspective of the world, your body got used to functioning in a certain way. And that's what allowed the disease to develop. A lot of people also, when I used to talk about this on my channel, I used to always get the comment like, this is such BS. What about babies? Babies don't ask to have diseases. Babies don't ask to be in pain and XYZ. And I think that we need to humble ourselves as a human race and understand that we've only been around for so long and we don't have all the answers. And we are just starting to understand fetal trauma and the trauma that babies go through when they're in the womb, when the mother is stressed or when the parents are in a stressful environment. We are just starting to understand what that does to a child. So that's my philosophy with that as well. No, I don't believe that a tiny baby can manifest disease, manifest cancer. But I do believe that a child can be in situations, or a child can be within their mom during situations that create a certain function in the body when the baby's born, and that may lead to disease. I'm gonna wrap this up by saying, you guys have probably noticed that I've been saying God a lot in my videos lately, but me and God, we've been getting really comfy cozy lately. When I say he, referring to God, I don't think God's a man, I don't think God's a person. I'm just using that because it's grammatically correct in the English language. So, okay. But anyway, God didn't create a list of diseases and say, okay, these are all the diseases that exist for humans, and as you guys evolve, I want you to figure out what symptoms go with which diseases so you can define the diseases. I don't believe that that's what's happened, but that's kind of how our society functions, right? When we have a symptom, when something is different in our body, we say, oh gosh, what's wrong with me? I bet this is wrong, I bet this is wrong, I bet this is wrong. We jump straight into this idea of there's a pre-existing condition that I fall into. When in reality, all of our bodies, each body since the beginning of time has been different. But it's our mental capacity to take on stories that allow us to start falling into categories with each other. Categories of people who have MS, categories of people who have different diseases. Okay, I need to go shower. I smell. Okay, showered. Face beat. Now I have to go find a birthday gift for my little sister and pick my son up from Mimi's, and then come home and get ready for this vaccination shot. I wanted to dress up and do my makeup just so I can keep my spirits high, not get too into my head about it, you know. So yeah, guess I can show you guys my little outfit of the day. It's just some taupe, leggings, cream shirt, and then I have like a taupe sports bra underneath. I actually think I'm gonna bring this over, hanging off my shoulder. I've been working a lot on dressing more femininely, but I'm also not a big fan of dresses and things. Actually, I should put my sneakers on and then show you guys the whole thing. So yeah, I've been trying to dress more feminine lately. Not so much black, not so much baggy clothing. And I'm a fan. I'm a pretty big fan. I don't think that I'm ever going to be the type to wear heels often or dresses too often. I really like athletic clothing. So what I'm learning how to do is wear minimal jewelry like bracelets, necklaces, post earrings so that I can like femme an otherwise athletic outfit up. And I am a fan. I really like this outfit.
Right. It wasn't to sound like a National Geographic's intro.
It does.
Yes.
And that wasn't nice. That was very mean.
Very mean.
And mean little boys don't get french fries.
Yes.
We are in the car waiting for our Star Breezy. I figured now is a better time than any. You know, before I even talk, I'm gonna let him say hi so that he can chill. Say hi, AJ.
Hi, AJ.
So the next point that I want to talk about when it comes to manifesting health is gratitude. A fundamental of using the law of attraction to change your reality is learning how to practice true gratitude so that you may be thankful for what you have in your life, so that you can tune yourself to the frequency of the things that you want to bring into your reality.
Yes.
Oh, that coffee smells good.
Thank you. You too.
I'm stressed.
Oh, you got any straws? Thanks.
Can you do what?
Can I like this?
No, baby, I'm talking.
Why not?
I just told you why. I'm talking.
Oh,
Okay? I'm going to keep talking, okay?
please.
All right. So, you have to have gratitude in order to bring the things that match that very frequency into your reality. For example, if you want health in your life, you're not going to feel sick one day and then wake up the next day and say, I'm the healthiest person. You have to learn how to find the parts of yourself that are healthy, the parts of yourself that are working the way that you expect, and lean into gratitude for those parts of your body so that you can expand upon that feeling. I truly believe that a defeatist mindset leads to more complex sickness. I'm sure that we've all heard about the people, I don't want to just say the old people, it sounds so disrespectful, but when there's an older couple and one of the people in the couple die, oftentimes the other person dies a week or 2 weeks later. That's been recorded to happen like multiple times, and I think that just shows us that when we have a depressed mindset, you know, if we're depressed about our physical well-being, and then if something happens that just makes us give up, we are able to meet our own demise based off of our mindset. If we truly cannot find any parts of our body, any parts of our life to be grateful for, we can end our own lives through our mindset. I just realized I was talking to you guys earlier about me getting diagnosed with MS, but I didn't tell you that I have not had symptoms for 5 years. So I was diagnosed with MS. I was blind in one eye, and I had urinary incontinence, and that lasted for about 6 months. And I did my own healing journey. I have multiple videos on my channel about it. And then I stopped having symptoms, and I haven't had symptoms in 5-6 years. So when I talk about having appreciation for your body, I'm talking about attention, right? Energy flows where our attention goes. And I remember when I was at the hospital, you know, my friends and my family were really scared because my mom has MS. So, and based on my symptoms, my friends and my family were quite certain of what was happening. So I remember when the doctor told me that I had multiple sclerosis, the people around me were so upset. My mother was heartbroken. I still don't, to this day, I don't think she ever accepted it, but she didn't have to because now I don't have symptoms. But I don't think she ever even accepted it. But I just remember in that moment when the doctor said, like, based on everything I've seen, I do believe that you have multiple sclerosis. And he wanted to start talking to me about treatments and all this other stuff. But I was happy. I remember thinking, because the first thing he said was, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but I think that you do have multiple sclerosis. But then I said, am I going to be able to see again? And he was like, yes, we'll put you on steroids and chances are your eyesight will come back. He didn't even say it was a sure thing, but the chances are that was enough for me. And when I learned that my eyesight was going to come back, him saying you have MS, that didn't mean anything to me. That didn't mean a thing to me. Because at that moment, I was blind in one eye, and I learned that I was going to get my sight back. And I lost vision over the course of 2 weeks. So after slowly going blind, you know, you can convince yourself of a lot of stuff. And after being told that I was going to get my eyesight back, all I could do was feel gratitude. I didn't care about any of the other stuff because I was just happy that I was going to be able to see out of both my eyes. And I do believe that Spirit did that specifically so that I would not become married to this diagnosis. If I had not gone blind in one eye and I just happened to go to the hospital and they were like, you have MS, I do think that maybe I would have mentally downloaded the diagnosis in a different way. But because I had gratitude, the chemical of gratitude in my body when they were telling me that I have MS and like trying to tell me about treatment and all that, I believe that I was able to stay present and not conform to the story that often comes when being diagnosed with a disease. The thing is, no matter what condition your body is in, no matter what, and I'm not trying to dismiss anyone's situation at all, your emotions about your situation are 200% valid. This random girl on the internet can't tell you anything about how you should feel, okay? So I am not trying to take away or invalidate how anyone feels, but no matter the condition of your body is your gateway to life. Your spirit cannot live this life without your body, no matter the condition that your body is in. So when I say that all I cared about was the fact that I was going to get my eyesight back, was because I had already thought I lost it. And I was dealing with what I thought my life was going to be, being blind in one eye. And because my mind had started to understand that that could be a reality, you know, you don't really understand things until you're put into the situation. So knowing, I'm gonna stop rambling. Don't take your body for granted. Even if you have a condition, even if you're not as healthy as you want, even if you're not at your ideal weight, even if you don't look the way that you want or whatever, all the things that we invent, all the reasons we choose to not be happy with our bodies, no matter what, do not take your body for granted. Understanding the importance of your body and how necessary your body is for you to be in this life experience, truly knowing that is going to be the first step to manifesting health in your life. We literally just left Starbucks That whole time I was talking, like we just pulled off from the drive-thru, and Adam's drink is gone. It is gone. He inhaled it. So I have about 45 minutes before I have to go get my vaccination. So I'm going to wrap my sister's gift so that can be done and talk to you guys a little bit. I got her these cute little bags. I was looking for just black bags, but this is nice too. I wanted it to be sexy. She's turning 24, and how is she turning 24? And I got her a little bag for her jewelry. I got her. I gotta make sure that I give her this stuff before I post this video. The first thing I got her, my sister and I are on this journey to start collecting more jewelry together. That jewelry that like we really like, instead of just like cheapy costume jewelry, which is what we used to buy when we were growing up. So I got her this jewelry box that's actually pleated just like her bed. I have a philosophy on how we should be treating our vessels. I believe that we should be treating our bodies as if we are supposed to hand them back in at some point. How does that make you feel? The idea that at the end of your life, you're gonna have to give your body back to source, for source to review. What does that bring up for you? When I started to think of my body this way, I started to understand just how much respect I had for my body and areas that I needed to have more respect for my body. So when I say handing your body back into source, I don't mean like, don't get tattoos, don't eat food that you really love. Like, I don't mean to not do things that society considers negative. I mean, do you do things that you consider negative, but because you're so emotional in the moment, you put your body last and you put the emotional crutch first. That's where I'm coming from. The thing is, our hearts beat for us every day. Our lungs expand for us every day. Our bodies work for us every day. So when it comes to our body, we have to ask ourselves, how much are we sacrificing our body for? And do I agree with what I'm sacrificing my body for? My sister also has the cutest apartment. So I got her these candles because I thought they would go really nice with her place. So cute. But for real, you guys, on a daily basis, what are you sacrificing your body for? An example would be, is there a person in your life that makes you nervous? Like whenever you're around them, you start to feel really bad? Like you feel like something bad is going to happen? Or you feel like they don't have your best interest at heart? They can even make you feel physically sick. Those of us that are in relationships, talking to people in the talking stages, the person you're talking to, getting to know, how is your body reacting to them? A lot of times we sacrifice how our body is reacting to another person because we want to be in love so badly, because we want to be in relationships so badly. I'm saying this to give clarity to my words. I don't mean stay away from the things that you desire. I mean practice awareness to make sure that you're actually pursuing what you desire and not cheap knockoffs, because the cheap knockoffs are more convenient to obtain. Our bodies are our compass. Our bodies tell us when we are pursuing things that align, or when we're pursuing things that might be, you know, only plated in gold, you know? Okay, and present number two is going to be this watch. I got my baby sister a watch because she's my baby girl and she always be on time. Because unlike me, my sister is a social butterfly. So she goes out to events, she goes out to parties, she is everywhere. So I just want to make sure she has a watch. So she always knows what time it is, and it goes with her aesthetic and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Auntie's gonna love it. Right when I started recording, a woman came back to her car next to mine, and I'm still not used to talking to cameras in public yet. I'm gonna power through it because I'm learning not to care what anyone thinks, ever. Whew. Okay, so I'm getting the vaccine in 17 minutes. Eat. I haven't told you guys how to suture all of this information together to obtain perfect health. And I put it in quotes because it's going to be different to everyone. What perfect health is so different. Perfect health is going to mean one thing to a person who just started being active. That person could say that perfect health is being able to walk around the block without being out of breath. Another person who's a runner who has been running their whole lives could say that perfect health is being able to lift a certain amount of weight and run a certain distance, you know? So perfect health is going to be different for everybody. But getting into how to manifest perfect health, tying everything from this video together so far, and explaining to you guys why I'm choosing to get the vaccination. Our health depends on our ability to enter into what Joe Dispenza would call states of coherence. When our brain is in a state of coherence and when our heart is in a state of coherence. And what this means is that our heart is beating rhythmically without any of our emotions basically making our heart beat irregularly, and our brain is functioning normally without any emotions, any memories, anything that making us so uncomfortable that our brain is short-circuiting, for lack of a better word. In order to enter into these states of coherence, I personally believe that we have to do one of two things. We all have trauma. We all have dark memories. We all have experienced things in our lives that bring darkness into our thoughts, make us nervous, make us angry, make us frustrated, you know, all those lower vibrational things. I believe we have to do one of two things with these memories of these experiences. Either let it go. Whenever it comes up in your mind, find a way to tell yourself that this experience was meant to be, it made me who I am, and I'm no longer going to look at it as something that takes away from my life experience. Let it go, or work through it. Not sweating already, oh my God. An example of working through it would be me getting this vaccine. The vaccine, I think I was eligible for it in February, and for the longest time, I said, there's no way at all I'm getting this vaccine. It's not necessary because I'm wearing a mask and everyone else is wearing a mask. So why do I need to get a vaccine? How is that necessary? And then our situation changed, and it turns out that everyone doesn't have to wear a mask anymore. So now the chances of me getting COVID are a lot higher because no one really has to wear a mask anymore. I live in North Carolina and like nowhere has mask regulations. So the chance of me getting COVID is higher, which means the chance of me passing COVID to someone else is higher. And the reason I am getting the vaccine is based off of the foundational principle of practicing nonviolence. And I want to make it very, very clear that this is for me. This is what I'm choosing to do. I do not expect anyone else to do it, nor do I judge anyone for getting vaccinated or not getting vaccinated, because everyone's reasoning is valid. People who say that they do not want the vaccine, that they do not trust it, they do not trust the government, they do not trust Big Pharma, they do not trust the information we get, all valid. But for me, when it comes to my health and what I know, I will get sick. I know that I will go out here and get COVID if I don't get this vaccine. Why? Because there is a voice in my mind telling me over and over again that if I don't get this vaccine, then I can be responsible for somebody else getting sick, because that is a fact. For me, that's a belief for me. I believe COVID is real. I believe that humans mess with animals far too much and that the earth is evening things back out. I believe in this virus and I'm not scared of it, but I don't think it's fake. And that being said, I know that if I get it, I can give it to somebody else. And if I give it to someone else, not even not even thinking I could kill someone, not even thinking someone could die, but I don't want anyone to have a sniffle because I don't want to wear a mask. I don't want anyone to have a headache, to have a sore throat, to have an achy body. I don't want any of that because I refuse to wear a mask. I don't want that karma. And I hope that I'm illustrating how me getting the vaccine aligns with my own belief system. I know that if I do not get this vaccine, I will get COVID because I am so hyper aware of how I believe I am being irresponsible if I do not get it. But I don't believe this for every person. You know, this is me, this is my path. But I don't think that the next person needs to think like me. I'm not blaming people for not getting the vaccine. So if I didn't get the vaccine, I would know in the back of my mind that I am making a choice that I believe is irresponsible. Because I know this in the back of my mind, that would make it impossible for me to operate in a state of coherence. That would make it impossible for me to meditate with a clear mind. That would make it impossible for me to sit in peace because I know that I'm not doing everything I can to live the life that I want to live and be the person I want to be. That is what I think living in a state of coherence is. It's knowing that you are doing everything in your power to be the best you physically and mentally. And if you're not, that means that there are thoughts in your mind that are affecting you and not allowing your body to function in a peaceful way, in a peaceful state. My philosophy on health, definitely check out Dr. Joe Dispenza. Read about epigenetics. Oh my gosh. Reading about epigenetics changed everything for me. I'll put how you spell that on the screen if you want to research it. I am a complete believer that our physical state is a reflection of our mental state. That's just how I live life. And based on the sickness that I've experienced, the sickness that I've seen in family, the sickness that I've seen in friends, my belief has proven itself to be true. But that's the thing about beliefs. What you believe creates your reality. So what I believe creates my reality. And if you don't believe what I believe, you're still right in your reality. And that's the beautiful thing about belief systems. All right, I have 8 minutes. I'm going to go in to see if they can just do this. I'll check back in with you guys when I'm done, unless I die. It took 3 minutes. I didn't feel it. Now I'm just starting to think that we're all overreacting about the vaccine thing. I'm going to give you guys an update next week. I'm going to let you guys know if I get any side effects or whatever. But 15 minutes after the shot, I feel pretty good. Yeah. So I think I'm going to end the vlog here. It's probably really long because I feel like I pulled the camera out a lot today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you take anything away from it, I hope that you take away that your health... Who is calling me? If you took anything away from this video, I hope that it is that your health, in Brown and Bendy's perspective, is dependent on how many thoughts you have that are taking you away from your peace. And in order to reach whatever your version is, whatever your belief system's version is of perfect health, in order to reach that, you must either let go or work through whatever thoughts are stopping you from having mental peace and from having mental clarity. When you meditate, when you start to fidget, be aware of what thought came up in your mind. When you meditate, and all of a sudden you feel like you can't sit still anymore and you want to stop and you want to go do something else, or you start to feel emotions come up, practice awareness. What thought made you so uncomfortable? And then again, you can decide, I'm going to just let this thought go. For example, let's say that you don't think that you're attractive and it's the bane of your existence. Every day you wake up and you're just like, I'm so ugly. And you meditate and you realize that your thoughts of how attractive you are keeping you from being happy. You decide you're going to let it go. You let it go by affirmations. I am so beautiful. I am the epitome of beauty. XYZ. You don't do any digging. You don't try to figure out why you feel this way. You're just like, this doesn't serve me. You let it go. You can either do that or you can work through it. Working through it is like really sitting with yourself and figuring out, you know, where did this low self-esteem come from? Why do I feel this way about myself? Because sometimes figuring it out gives you answers to other things on your journey. You know whether you're supposed to just let it go or figure it out. You know. So yeah, I really hope that there is some clarity in this video. I hope that I was able to give you some tools to practice using your belief system to have the health that you'd like, instead of all the external stuff that they tell us, like dieting, exercising, all that stuff. You know, exercising is great, physicality is great, but I hope that I gave you some tools to help you feel like you can practice wellness from the inside. Okay, ending the vlog here. I love you very much. I'll see you next time. Bye.